Hello everyone, happy solstice. It's coming up tomorrow. I'm just planting a little tomato plant I got as a gift from my friend Anita. But today it's all about the summer solstice. And I want to tell you all about meadowsweet and its amazing medicinal properties. So let's get out of this hot polytunnel because it is suffocating. It's way too hot. Come on, dog. Ow. If you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you might have heard that I have some altars dotted around the whole garden for different Irish goddesses for different times on the wheel of the earth. And summer solstice is associated very much with Anya. She's a fairy goddess. And she has a very interesting story, which brings us to meadowsweet, which I'll be talking about shortly. But I just want to visit the altar that I have here today and leave a little offering of some roses for this beautiful fairy goddess. And she would be called upon in the past to bring abundance to the garden, to the vegetables that are growing, to the crops. She's already doing a brilliant job because look at this. I took the hedge trimmer and I straightened all of that up a couple of weeks ago, and it's just erupted in growth since. So I'll just leave these little roses on the altar as a token of gratitude for all the growth that we're experiencing here. There it is. And you know, all the hawthorn berries are already out, which is unbelievable. They're 3 months early. And the blackberries are coming into flower and beginning to make fruits as well. So, and the growth is just phenomenal. But Anya is an ancient goddess. She's associated with the fairies, with the she, and she is also associated with meadowsweet. So I'm going to bring you down to some meadowsweet because I have to harvest it, and I'll tell you a bit more about meadowsweet. Hey, little Brock. Hey, little Brock. You come to help. So here we are at the meadowsweet. This is a stand of meadowsweet because you can see there's a grouping of family of plants. And meadowsweet flowers between June and September. So you can see it's just coming into flower. Some of them haven't opened their flowers yet, but there's a couple of them have. And look at it, it's so beautiful. It's like a fluffy cloud of teeny tiny little flowers. It smells beautiful. It's got a lovely almond fragrance. And it's just so medicinal for so many issues that it's really worth looking out for it. It grows all over the Northern Hemisphere. So if you look out for it and take some of it, and you can resolve lots of health issues. But I'll just go back to Anya and explain what happened to her. She was a fairy goddess who had been captured by a chieftain and forced into marriage. And before that, other chieftains, other men had been after her. And at one point, a man set his dogs on her. He wanted to capture her and bring her down, and she was running away. So he sent his dogs after her. So she dived into a stand of meadowsweet and hid. She crouched down. And the dogs couldn't smell her any longer because of the beautiful fragrance from the meadowsweet. So they became confused and they moved on. And she was saved from those dogs. And that is why meadowsweet is associated with Anya, the goddess who is most commonly remembered at the summer solstice. In the past, people would strew it around their house because its lovely fragrance would make the house smell nice. And it was also used in brewing as well, because the meadow aspect is not to do with meadows at all, it's to do with mead. And so it's had many uses over the ages, and it is also medicinal. So what it can do for you medicinally is it's a diuretic, it's a diaphoretic, it's a relaxant, antispasmodic, it's an analgesic or painkiller, it's anti-inflammatory, and that's the most important thing about it because it reduces inflammation right through the esophagus, from the mouth down to the bowels. So I'm going to harvest it because of those many actions. So those actions mean it can be used as, well, first of all, it's specific to the stomach. So any stomach issues, meadowsweet can help. So if you've just got a tummy upset, or if you've got an inflammatory condition, if you're going through gastritis or enteritis, it's really helpful. And it can prevent and heal ulceration of the stomach lining. And as an antacid, it has no side effects like the horrible things that you buy in the pharmacy. So going down from the stomach, if you have spasm in the bowel, it's a relaxant. It's going to stop the spasms. It's going to restore the mucous membranes in the bowel because it has both tannins and mucilage. So it's going to heal those mucous membranes and relieve pain and trouble and spasm. So things like colic in children. I'm just going to get a couple more of these flowers and then I'm going to go to another stand because I want to, obviously I'm not going to take the ones that haven't opened yet. Just get this one here. So as a diuretic, it's going to help the kidneys and the urinary system as well. And it's mildly antiseptic. So if you have something like cystitis or uritis, you're going to get a lot of relief with meadowsweet. And moving on from that as a diuretic as well, if you have any arthritic complaints, because of, that's inflammation of the joints. If you have gout, if you have arthritis and swollen joints, the diuretic actions of meadowsweet can flush out the uric acid that might be causing the pain and the swelling. So I'm just going to go over to this other spot now. So there's another little stand here and quite a lovely bit is in flower, so I can take that. We're using the aerial parts of the plant, so that means everything above ground. So it's the leaves and the flowers. And I just mentioned there about the kidneys. So it's an antiseptic, it's a diuretic. It's also a diaphoretic, which means it will help you to sweat out fevers and bring your temperature down. So it's really good for children with eruptive issues such as chickenpox or measles, where they're erupting in spots, they've got a high temperature, they're very restless, they're very unhappy. It will help them to relax, to feel a bit cooler, and to help move the body's work with the illness. So it's just an amazing, it's so beautiful, it's so aromatic, and it's amazingly beneficial for our health. So it is a painkiller, so it can help with headaches. It can help with neuralgic pain. It's just brilliant. And I like to make a tincture with it. And I also dry some for tea because the tea is really pleasant to drink. So I imagine, I can remember when I had measles as a child, if I'd had some lovely meadowsweet to drink, it would have really helped. So I think, when you're celebrating the summer solstice, I think it's always a good thing, not just to have a bonfire, but to think about the plants that are associated with this time of year. Because, as the wheel turns, different plants kind of rise up and become special for that brief time. When we move on to Lunacer, it'll be something else. When we move on to the autumn equinox, it'll be something else. But for now, meadowsweet is in its glory. It's very important for summer solstice. And I recommend that you get out and get to know it, make a friend of it, use it in your medicines, and to keep our customs and traditions and heritage alive, because there's a bit of a movement now that I've been reading about where governments are tending to rewrite history and remove the notion that you're a person of a place. So, for example, here in Ireland, our government is telling us that we're just mongrels, that we're not really Irish after all, even though we are the most homogenous group in the whole of Europe. But anyway, that's a political thing. Just enjoy the solstice, keep the traditions alive, enjoy the plants, work with the plants, and really appreciate them. This is so beautiful. I think it's, if you're a June bride, you should have some meadowsweet in your bouquet because it is just incredibly beautiful. So I'm going to take this in now and get it hung up, ready to dry. And I'll see you next week. Enjoy the festival. And I hope the sun keeps shining for all of us. The sun is so important. That's what we're doing at the summer solstice. We are acknowledging the beneficial power of the sun. And the whole festival is a celebration of the sun and all that the sun does for us. And so it's just a lovely time to get together. Okay, I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. I hope you enjoyed today's film. If you did, subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. And have a look at the website danusirishherbgarden.com for more information about us and about the herbal medicine courses I offer and the Wise Woman Way training. And if you go to the shop, you can find the books, the weed handbooks and other herbal goodies. And remember, we put a new film out every Sunday. So looking forward to seeing you next week.